on Earth, a super secret episode. Yeah. The first one we're not doing live. Gannick wanted all clearing room.
I lost the cap. It went somewhere.
That's good, man.
It'll be like stepping on Lego in a couple days. Don't worry.
Yeah, we have Avo cleaning this place up every time we're done. After he's done getting us exotic drinks and the sorts.
What are you drinking? We got Voodoo Ranger.
Yeah, the IPA. This is cool. Yeah,
I just picked it because it was like. Because you look like me.
You just got to get the gold slug.
Yeah.
Yo, so you're in LA for Bodied. I'm like all the last guests I've been pretty much talking with about Bodied just because it's been the lead up. And I've had like Hollow and Thesaurus and shit. But Thesaurus hadn't seen it. You've obviously on the opposite end of the spectrum. You've seen it like a million times by now, right?
I've seen it more than a couple times. It's good though. I like it. Like I enjoy it. It's not it's like watching a battle again because there's so many battle parts in it that like there's like bro, to this day I watch stuff and I still find like the little hidden goose eggs in it. Yesterday I just realized you know, the part where they're talking about Krayshawn and like, oh, that song's actually written by a battle rapper, and I'm like, oh shit, Speaks, man.
Yeah,
like
Speaks,
you know, which is so funny because who just did Dumbfounded just did a podcast and he had Speaks on there. So I'm like, man, I ain't heard of Speaks in like 5 years, and now twice in 2 days. I'm like, the world's weird like that, right?
Yeah, I remember doing like battles with being in the same building, like in the same battles as Speaks a couple times. Like I want to say in like 02 or 03 in San Diego, like the Hot Monkey Love Cafe or something is what it's called. It's where like me and Bo Rat did our first two on, like the first 2-on-2 I ever did was with Bo Rat.
Yeah.
And like we did that.
What's he up to these days? I seen he's like sports medicine.
Yeah. Something with sport. He's like doing some sports ass shit somewhere.
Girl with
thriving.
The Nintendo Power Glove.
I mean, look like Goldilocks.
What was the lead up? You better shower up.
Yeah.
I'll fuck your girl.
The best one was I may look like Goldilocks because no one had said he looked like Goldilocks.
Yeah.
So I may look like Goldilocks, but I'll still let your girlfriend hold my cock.
Yo, Scribble Jams are the best, man. I told when I go and watch for the first time, that's what I want to do. Let's watch Scribble Jam 2004, something like that.
You haven't done a watch yet?
No, not formally with Ava. We did like a live Q&A on King of the Dot, but we never have done a watch. Just anytime I'm out here, like me and him, our schedules just don't, you know, they don't work together. And then when I bring him out for Mass, it's like we got so much stuff going on too.
Yeah.
And I'm all over the place, so I'm not like ever going to be content to just sit and watch a screen because my mind's not going to be there, right?
Yeah.
So, but we'll make it happen, man, eventually.
Right, yeah. No, yeah, I feel you, though. Like, Scribble Jam was, like, the mecca at one point. I used to go to 360 Vinyl, this record store, and, like, buy, like, my hip-hop DVDs and shit, and buy all the old Scribble Jams. Like I had the VHSs, and then when they went to DVD and shit,
I used to have to order them from the site because I was from Canada, so like we didn't have any cool stores like that.
Right.
I had to like outsource my shit.
Yeah.
I used to wait like fucking 9 weeks in the mail, bro. I'd be that kid checking the mailbox every single day. When I got that shit, it was like Christmas, bro. I'd call my one buddy Jolly, and we'd just go and murder the shit out of this, like. You know when you listen to a song and you like it and you just like only listen to that song for a week and then you can never hear it again? That's what we did with Scribble Jam DVDs, Mind Games, Brainstorm.
Yeah, me too.
Anything we could get our hands on.
The Best of Franco DVD.
And it's so funny, man. Like there's so many cool, like the generation gaps in battle rap is crazy because we're starting to see a new generation gap now of the fans that are coming up in battle rap. You know, they're new fans. Like it's been 10 years. If they're rapping now, maybe they weren't a fan. Or
they're like, who's that? What's Scribble Jam?
Like, oh, Thesaurus. Like, what's he ever done? You know what I mean?
Right, yeah,
and it's like, but before, like when we were coming in,
these leagues or whatever.
I think like, you know, like the Presence, the D's, the you know, those people, they're 2 generations out of the battle rap scene now, which is crazy to think about, right? Because those were the people I used to look up to and stuff like that.
Even the World Rap Championship was like, oh shit, Presence is in it? Like, because he was in the freestyle, the brainstorms, and like, you know, Scribble, like the real on beat 30-second round type shit. And that fool was a problem.
So let me ask you something.
I lost the Presence at fucking brainstorm.
I was going to just ask you, who do you think, who are you in most fear of ever running into on the battle circuit through your reign? Because we all had the people that were like, I can't wait to face this guy because I've thought of a bunch of shit to say about you. But then there's always
we're talking like current or
no,
just
in the old days, in the
past?
freestyle days of the people. Because in the freestyle was more spontaneous. You know what I mean? It's like you could come up with bars for somebody, But if that DJ plays a beat that like none of the shit you came sequence to, like you're naked.
It's more almost more hurtful than a decently fluent freestyle without a lot of punches. It's like and people can kind of tell, so you're losing points. Like you're premeditated and it's not on beat. It's trash. Like I'm not gonna lie. After I don't think he was in 03, but 04 during Scribble Jam. Someone I didn't want to run into after seeing his first couple of battles was Solomon.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what fueled a lot of what...
bro.
He got jerked, but I was actually... When I look at the conspiracy theory, like, the universe conspired for him to lose because he lost to New MC. New MC lost to Franco. And I faced Franco in the semifinals. Yeah. That could have easily been me and Solomon in the semifinals. And I would have lost to Solomon.
You had a tough run that year, too, man. Like, you had Swine. You know what I mean? And then it's funny because the Johnny Blaze, which is Red Simpkins,
right,
you know what I mean? But,
even me, somebody else
being from Canada, I thought that was Red Simpkins. I thought that was Johnny Blaze.
Me too.
They put his name on the DVD. Yeah. They didn't even change that shit. Yeah. So I really liked I like Ron Noodles, man. He was my guy.
Ron was nice. Ron Noodles, he was nice. He used to post on rap music and shit. Like I chopped it up with him.
I like Jack Cracker too.
Was he from Pittsburgh? I think. Maybe not. I think so, actually.
I think he actually was.
Yeah. Yeah, he was
a real
nice.
deal to recruit him back, man.
Right? You know? Yeah, I would love to see cats like that back. Deese was nice too. Super he was nice, hilarious. He was like Dipset style, kind of, you know. That
I used to feel
Coast.
bad from in the Scribble Jam ones because you would see him at all like the TD3 battles that would go down in like Massachusetts and stuff, and he would just body people. Yeah. And then Scribble Jam is because like the way he dressed, I felt like he had like that disadvantage because he was like the straight New York guy, not New York, but that straight East Coast guy wearing like the long FUBU jerseys type shit, like you know what I mean. I don't care if you rap better, I'll beat you up type person mentality.
Who did he lose to? Was it Franco?
No, he lost to Presence.
Oh, in 04?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that fool was hilarious to me. There were so many quotables I used to quote of Deese back in the day from Scribble. I'm good right now, thanks.
We passing it,
but I can't remember. No, yeah, I get too high on this, and I'm like, the title really comes to fruition. I'm like, meanwhile on Earth, what we were talking about. But yeah, that would actually be tight doing a whole like watch like with some like throwbacks.
I gotta do it with you. I gotta just watch because you know like that for me that's so historic, bro. Like,
did you go to any of the Scribbles? No. Because what was the last one? 08, I think. I think the last one was 08.
I think the last one was the one I was like really planning on going to. I really wanted to go to 2005 just to watch. You know, and then like in the later I was like, okay, I gotta go compete. And then Kid Twist went because a lot of the people that were there were like. When I was young and rapping, it wasn't like the people that I wanted to see there, you know what I mean? Because they weren't from Toronto, you know, and to me, those were the people I looked up to coming up in the scene. So seeing like Prolific, Aspire, Ironic, it was like, man, like me coming up, because the internet wasn't so around back then, I was like, who the fuck are these guys? I've never heard of them before, but they were good. But like, I still wanted to see like the Scandalouses, the Bishops, the people that were kind of like, could adapt in the scenarios and stuff like that, you know? I just felt like it was different, but yo, those kids are good too, man. I went back. It's so weird, man. I always go through these like little time lapses, and I'll like, fuck it, you know, watch like a Prolific battle, and it's just like, man, it's so crazy. These people that were in our scene and
spin the mic.
Yeah, he was good. Man.
He was good. I was worried about him. I had a couple in my back pocket for him because seeing that he was on the card, and I'm like, that fool's a problem.
And you know what? We all knew he liked this shit more than everybody else. Yeah. So it's like, if you didn't have anything for him, you were in trouble because he definitely had something for you. You know what I mean? He was one of those people where it's like anybody, you had any sort of name, Prolific probably like thought about you for a night and fucking had some shit for you, you know?
His like Franco in that way of like just you could see an unadulterated like passion for it. Like you could tell in their
I think we all had it. I think I slacked when it came to the proper times when I should have, you know what I mean? Because I just would get like cocky. I mean, I've rapped with him before I can beat him, you know what I mean? And almost like, what the fuck?
So I don't know if you talked about it, but did you battle, did you do a lot of battles in Toronto and shit? Like freestyle? I mean, I know how we met, you know, but I just didn't know if you had done, like, is there footage of that?
Of course, man, tons, bro. I won, like, the big competition in Toronto was proud to be a battle MC, right? So I won that competition 3 times.
Let's go.
I won License to Ill 3 times. I won the Battle King thing twice.
Is that online? Is there footage of
yeah,
that?
There's all of it, bro. Like,
look it up.
Yeah, we can for sure. I won the License to Ill. I won the Ant Mobile Battle of the Heads. I won the BET Spring Blings 2006 and 2008. I won a lot of competitions back in the day, bro. I was addicted to it, man. It was
That's
like
how you got the KOTD chain?
Yeah,
like crowd you retroactive for retro react.
That's how I
retroactive wins.
Well, think, bro, like how we met, a lot of people don't even know. Is like me and you knew each other long before we knew each other. You know what I mean? From just being in like chat rooms and wanting to rap, like these audio rooms where we can just rap and people would like grade you or give you words, because it was like my way of sharpening my skill set.
And that was on AOL or Yahoo.
Yahoo chat when it was brand new.
Yeah,
man.
when you'd go into it and you'd have like your little computer mic or whatever, and you'd go to like the hip hop room to like basically recruit people to go to a private room because everyone's just talking over each other in those hip hop rooms.
Those were the days, though, bro. And I used to meet so many people on those, man. It's so funny because like I'll go to events in Los Angeles and I'll go and be like, yo, I know you from this, and it's like, oh yeah, what's your name? And he's like, they'll say it, and it's like, wow, like I actually fucking remember you. I had a guy hit me up recently on Instagram, and it was someone who like back in the day I was like, oh, I always wanted to battle this guy. We always used to like have it out. I don't know, you maybe remember him, LA Mental.
And that sounds hella familiar.
And he hit me up on Instagram like, bro, I can't believe the shit y'all are up to. You know what I mean? He's like, I can't believe it, and it's just crazy, bro, because we used to spend hours, bro. I used to skip school. You know what I mean? Literally, I'd go home from lunch, smoke weed, and never go back to school because I would just sit there and rap all fucking day,
computer.
Bro, online.
I remember
wait
that
for
was
my friends
like
to get off school and then go do it with them.
That was my method of like fucking practicing for battles and shit, because I was doing a lot of local battles in Portland and shit, and so I would go on those Yahoo chat rooms, and you know what it'd always do is everyone's talking over each other, so it's like, yo, go to, you know, chat room ABCD 1 2 3 freestyle or whatever, you know, and then like if y'all want to battle, and so people would go in there and fans would go in there, and then like people would battle or be like throw up words in the chat.
That's when we formed our little
them.
crew, man. We all used to throw the whack MC shit at the end.
Yeah,
because it was like no matter what, people would call you shit, and it was like, you knew who the good people were. And it was funny, man. And then we used to just harass people. We'd see people start their freestyle rooms. We'd go collect all our homies. Like, yo, let's go invade it. Go in there. Whenever one of them would start rapping, everyone would just like jump them.
We'd just gang up. Yeah, we had the tag on the end of our screen names. Whack MC. I never had my real like Ill Mac or
no.
Ill Mac.
I remember your name still, man. I don't know if you want me to say.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, go ahead.
It's Pistol Tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of pause-worthy these days.
I used to go.
I used to go organic to Mike Tyson, bro.
Yeah. Corny. Well, even then, I like knew like this is good. It's keeping me sharp. It's hella good practice. I'm like, but this might come back. You know, like this might come back. I'm gonna have an alias. You know what I mean? Like if some of the local MCs in these battles in Portland like got a hold of this, it might be a thing.
Yeah,
I'm gonna insulate myself. But yeah, that's how we originally met, and I think we used to talk on AIM and shit too, like because we met in those chat rooms and shit, and we'd go in there and destroy fools all the time.
That's what I mean. Like
fools
when you
never
won
know.
Score Jam 2004, that's like was in like the hype of that, bro. Like you had like an army of people like on this like Yahoo chat room like rooting for you. You know what I mean? Because I remember you won the prelims the night before, and everyone's like, oh shit, he's in the main battle. You know what I mean? And then you won, and it was almost like wow. And Swine was the guy back then, you know, because in 2003 he killed everybody. Like Breeze, his battle with Breeze Everflowing. It's so funny how times change everything, right? Because back then,
Breeze was the guy, and that was 03. That was just the year before.
And that was like the biggest body of that year. You know what I mean? But now, when you go back and watch that, it's like, I don't know, man. Breeze didn't do so bad, right? And it's just one of those things because he actually rapped, and it's like I think like. Just going up and telling a joke and like this guy looks like this guy, over time it died because it got diluted because it got so popular, you know what I mean? And everyone was able to do it once you found out the trick to it. But I think like Swine was like the originator, and he was like that. He was the guy, bro. He just knew how to make like a reference just jump and pop so fucking hard, bro.
It was like it was a way of doing it. I feel like you had the idea and shit. Like I remember I used to download the idea battle, like give my computer aids, downloading them off Kazaa, or Kazaa or whatever the fuck, LimeWire, and like it'd be like idea versus Eminem, and I'd download it, and it was a bunch of like bestiality or something. I don't know, but like
Faces
that
of
was like back then it was before YouTube. Shit was a gamble trying to get to what you wanted to watch or listen to.
Do you remember the original battle forum? mcbattles.com before it was a rap music
that's where I
subforum?
used to watch all the and listen to audio and watch
like
battles.
Tone Deaf versus PH, like
Jin versus Mini Styles,
Esoteric and Jin and stuff like that. Like they're a classic.
Pumpkinhead has a
PH. Shout out
PHRP.
to Poison Pen, man, because a lot of people don't know, but he actually facilitated most of that footage and that website and everything like that. Yeah, so he's like kind of like the OG of the OGs in the battle scene, but like a lot of people don't really know. You know what I mean? Like he was the first to try to like push like from what I know. You know, maybe someone will correct me, but like, you know, I've spoken to him about it too, but like he was the first person to like realize like this is watchable content to put out there. People need to see this stuff and try to facilitate that, man. I remember that it was an elephant that had the two trunks coming out and shit like that, the logo.
Yeah.
It's funny, man.
Yeah, man, that was the shit. That was before YouTube. I talk about that all the time. Just I don't know, maybe on watching shit like that, but like no YouTube. Like you had to like really seek shit out like on some dark web search shit, and it was like MC Battles was the site, you know, where you'd go and it's like Jin versus Supernat was up there. All that shit. But speaking of which, it ties into what you were just saying. The way certain styles can age, it's like history revisionism. Because now you look back, you're like, damn, Breeze didn't do so bad. That was the body of the whole event of the year that in 03 or whatever when Swan battled Breeze. And it's kind of the same thing, I feel like, with that happens even in modern battles. But at that
100%.
time, I remember watching Juice and Supernat and always being like, Juice fucking killed that fool, bro. And everyone's like, no, Super Natty did the voice. I'm like, he didn't say nothing in the voice, though. I'm like, nah, and he rebutted him, the ventriloquist shit. I'm like, that shit. And I always had that. And now people like look back or like, I remember years later, at least at that time, people going back and be like, damn, yeah, Juice did get him. I'm like,
see, when I first heard that battle, that was the one that was like, whoa.
That was the one.
That's the, like, that audio was like, this is like next fucking level. I love this shit. This is what I'm into now, you know? And I remember thinking like, yeah, Supernat won, but as I became more of a rapper myself, I realized what he did was much simpler. You know what I mean? Like, for me to take a battle and be like, all right, give me the words from the crowd, like, just hand me stuff. Oh, lighter, I rapping tighter, we up in a cypher. What, you want to hit it? There's the igniter, like, you know what I mean? And people are going like crazy. You know what I mean?
We're gonna just use that clip.
Legit, like, fire. Pun intended. But like, you know what I mean? And that it's so simple to do that, but it makes everyone there be like, oh shit,
he's doing this.
You know what I mean? And then you have to compete with that. Where if you're not going to incorporate the crowd, it's going to be very hard to get that same type of energy right off rip from him. But what he did was a real rapper thing. He rebutted what he was saying and kind of attacked him as like a lyricist and stuff. And, you know, it's
it was a good showmanship on Supernat's
we need to get like I've never seen the full footage of that battle. I think I have like once. But like it's not out there like that. You know what I mean? And like that's such like a pivotal
that
fucking
gets on YouTube.
How do Blaze battles and all these things that happened in like 2001 up? But like you mean Juice and
even a lot of the scribble shit is there's shit so now many, you can find, but it's like that used to you have to really search and shit.
Sorry to cut you off. That used to be my biggest fucking pet peeve of Scribble Jam videos, bro. They never put out the full tournament table. Right. So it would be in my head about how I would always be trying to piece it together. Like where did this guy get here? He didn't even this is the semifinals now. Like
it didn't show the whole tournament. It just showed kind of
so
like
it would be confused and trying to piece it together. Whereas like when you watch Brainstorm, they like boom, and I know that one touches home with you. Like, you know, the Brainstorm battles were, you know, those are so fucking sick, man. The videos and like, you know, they'd put up the whole tournament table when someone would lose, so you would be able to like follow who's going. And I used to like that. Scribble Jam used to fucking mind boggle me, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kevin Beecham though, man. He's another person like he don't get like this battle scene is literally a concept of his work. You know what I mean? Like the street battle stuff was always there, right? But it kind of like I think like Scribble Jam is kind of what formed the the new scene from the World Rap Championships into Grind Time, King of the Dot, Smack URL. I think like Scribble Jam carried battle rap through a dead period, and Kevin Beecham was responsible for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of people probably wouldn't even be able to pick him out of a lineup.
Right.
Most people, and it's
Yeah.
like, to me that's criminal because you know that was the man back in the day.
No, definitely.
You know,
man.
Future is based off him in 8 Mile. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
guy with the dreads and everything. So
Mhm.
it's cool that they paid homage in certain senses like that because, you know, think of all the gems he brought us over the years. You know, the
Yeah.
careers he jump started. Like, if Scribble Jam wasn't there to fill that gap, like what would rapmusic.com, the MC Battle Sing have even had for everybody to talk about? I probably would have never, other than like Yahoo or whatever, known you, Thesaurus, all these people. Like that was the hub where we'd go watch actual video footage of each other. It didn't matter where in the world you were from, you'd post your footage there if you had it, and then we'd all know about you. I knew who was
Yeah.
good in Australia, everywhere. It was crazy.
Yeah, like I guess that was the difference where like, you know, you had Smack DVDs and stuff, but that was a very like localized, that's happening here thing.
Yeah.
Where Scribble Jam people kind of flocked from all across, you know, the world ultimately.
Justice,
Yeah,
man,
Justice
like,
came
that's
from
fucking-
Australia, you know what I
That
mean?
is the best battle rap, other than like what you did. I think you and him have the two best battle rap stories for like that era. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I think Justice's is just crazy,
Crazy.
for this fact that like nobody knew who you were either, but you're still American, so you're still a local. You know, I think.
Oh yeah, he came and everyone's
coming
like,
from-
"What the? What is?
You-
Who is this
right?
cat?"
And it was
yeah.
like right off rip, you're like, oh, okay, he fits in, he's good. Because I remember his battle where, what's his name from Chicago, Mood Swangs.
Yep.
Yeah,
yep,
and it was
yep.
just like, fucking crushed him, man.
Yeah.
And I like Mood Swangs. He's a good rapper.
Yep,
But,
I was just kicking it
you
with
know.
him on tour when we were in Chicago. I was on tour at Slumville, and we were kicking it with that fool afterwards
That's
in
battle rap,
Chicago.
you know, and that's the thing. Like that's what I used to like about the on-beat battles, because it was like, you know, rematches could happen in a whole different outcome. Because it really, like, everything depended on the beat, the day, how quick your mind's
Mhm.
working.
Yep.
You know, they made rematches and stuff like that kind of cool.
Yeah. No, exactly. Like, it's just crazy. Like, I want to say it was Ak when we were at Scribble one time. He hella described sort of like the relationship or camaraderie between battlers. He likened it to like I think it was like in 05 or something, but he likened it to like, you know how you say you have a company that has like multiple bases across the U.S. and like once a year they have some like
Yeah.
you know,
Like a
man
summer.
camping trip or
Yeah.
whatever where they get together, and it's like this is what battle rap is. Like we all kind of like consider each other friends,
Yeah.
acquaintances at the very least, and have this mutual respect, and then when we kick it, it's like we've known each other for hella long and we really kind of only have this one thing in common, you know, like battle rap and
Yeah.
our passion for it, but yet it brings us together, and it's like our, you know, fishing trip once
Great.
a year.
And
you
yo,
know?
shout out to this book, by the way.
Yeah, have you read it?
Bits and pieces.
Yeah,
but I've
me
been so
too. That's
busy,
good,
like I
yeah.
haven't been able to like really go through it. You know what I mean? I go
Yeah.
through, I see the names, I read, and it's funny because my interview I did with this for so long ago, like I was interested to read what I'm saying, and as I'm
Mhm.
like reading what I'm saying, I'm like, yo, next page. I don't even. You know? It's like watching
Yeah.
old footage of yourself. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter
like,
what
damn.
context, like something of me that's old, whether it be my thoughts or I don't even care for it, man. It's like I'm past that now, you know.
Yeah.
It's like embarrassing almost. It's funny how you grow past like
Right.
thoughts, everything. But this book was actually really well done. I thought it's cool how it like captures. It's a time capsule for battle rap.
Yeah.
It really is, man.
It jumps around to like significant events and shit. Shout out Ryan O'Leary. Bars, check it out.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can get it online. But it jumps around from like serious events, and I haven't finished it, but I've read a couple chapters. And it. So when he interviewed us, you know, he hit on like basically all these chapters. So it's not necessarily chronological, but it'll just talk like, say, like Scribble Jam,
Yeah.
04 or whatever. And it has shit like Swan, me, and other people that were there, Juice's perspective. And then it'll kind of be the same thing 5 chapters later, talking about, you know, fucking Mills and Mook or whatever, you know. And so it's interesting the way it is, and it has a lot of familiar voices and people that were involved and people behind the scenes you didn't really realize were involved.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it is a great time capsule. Like
Man. There's a lot, like, even for me, man, and I'm sure you feel the same way. Battle rap's been going for so long that you forget how long it's fucking been,
Yeah.
and certain things like it. for me to sit there and like even just say like, oh, decade, like, you know, my life's going so quick right now that it's like I'm just saying decade, yada yada yada, but like to actually put that in perspective, you know what I mean? When I tell people I've been doing this for 10 years, they just like, that's just a sentence to them, but to think about like the actual time, it's fucking crazy.
You're a different
bro.
person in 10 years.
100%, bro. We've all grown so much. We've seen people get ostracized from our scene because they're not the people we thought they were. You know what I mean? Like morality speaks a lot in people's characters, so
yes, so decade, like it's crazy to hear and to say, but fucking congratulations, man. Like, cause that's a long time coming. You know what I mean? And a lot of work put in. You know, throwing events and going from battles at the park on like the big ass cameras that filmed on the little tapes, you know what I mean? To like where it's at now, with the internet and everything. Like, man, I don't know. Like, you start something with intentions of growing it, but did you ever think like when coming up with this and starting to do it, you'd be at like a movie premiere that you're in, like produced by Eminem and shit 10 years later?
I used to sit and wonder how battle rap was gonna move from the WRCs. I'm like, we're gonna use all these multis and references in the next year. Like, what's left? You know?
How many more times can we call each other a faggot in different ways?
Right? So it's weird for me, man, like to see where it's at and like how long it is, man. It's tough to look back at stuff, man. Like I do have like I feel like a midlife crisis with battle rap some days where I'll like go watch like the beginning and just see people that like like there's a video of I think it's I'm trying to think of the exact video. I think it's Bender vs Arcane, and like you got Bender battling, you got PH standing beside him, and Nukem co-hosting, and it's like all three of those people were like solid people that have passed, and it's crazy because even since they've passed, so much stuff has happened, you know what I mean? And it's like, man, it's just, to me, it's surreal. You forget like the part of the role you play in so many people's lives, and like the role that you guys play in my life. You guys all say like, congratulations to me on 10 years, but again, it's like congratulations to y'all too. We've carried this together. Like King of the Dot is just a platform. You know what I mean? It's up to the rappers and the people we book to continue to carry it and push this legacy. You know what I mean? So this is a home we've all built. You know what I mean? If we're gonna let people come in, party, and ruin the house, it's not gonna stay long. We haven't let that happen. We've maintained this, and it's cool to see. And honestly, I'm looking forward to putting in another decade, man, because I love this shit. It's like the older we get, I kept thinking like, I don't know how long I'll be in battle rap. I don't know how long, because I think like we all have this like view of it, but then we just realize that this is what I love doing. Like when I don't do this, I don't feel like myself. I just took a little break. I don't feel like myself. I don't know, man. I like the thrill. I like the risk. I like the being with people. It's like when you're in high school, going to the corner to smoke a cigarette in between classes and seeing all your homies, and that's what battle rap is. Like I have my life, and then I get this little break where I get to see all my homies, and then go back to the real shit. You know what I mean? And it's that same feeling. I don't know, bro. And for it to be captured on video, and us have all these memories with people, and as we grow older, it's just it's tough to really put all into perspective and lay out on the table to understand like what we've really created. You know what I mean? But it's crazy, man.
That's wild. This shit. Cheers, man. To a decade, man. This shit isn't all the way healed yet, but fucking
bro. Man, that is the most.
Yeah, man.
Bro, look at that, man.
That's crazy.
R.I.P.
Playing card. What's it?
It's just like Bender like, and just has like this design. It's by this dude AUD Tattoos. It's kind of his signature like line work look. You know what I mean?
Shit is crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Super crazy.
Yeah, shit's crazy, man.
Yo,
the fucking legend,
that,
man.
Bro.
For real, like that shit hit me. But yeah, you're right. Like to see the, that happen in not only the evolution, but then see those faces. Like, damn, like this is crazy. Like,
but they helped build this, man.
Yeah.
Like, these are the building blocks to get us in. Like, like this is gonna sound really weird, man, but like each one of those people, anytime someone in battle rap passes, man, it really makes the community a little tighter. We all feel like we have a purpose. We all feel like, look, man, like cut the bullshit out. Like, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, we're a family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's like positivity that comes in, and that's why I just try to like remain optimistic with it. But it's like you know, they're so imperative to our culture, man. Like every single one of them, from Feel Goods to Young
Yeah.
Bees and everything like that, man. Like these
Mhm.
people play such important roles as far as just motivating people to do a battle that they didn't think they were gonna do. Oh fuck, I'm gonna do it in the name of this guy. This guy, like seeing people, fans, come out to events when they stop coming out because they want to come out and celebrate what this guy used to do and stuff like that. Like it's weird to think about, man. Like everything's a stepping stone and help build to this. So like even in their past, they're still working for us and
Yeah.
still creating their legacy. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like every single one of those people, their names have. They're like wine; it gets better with age. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's crazy, bro. Like sitting Bender, like every artist's dream, I think, is to have people like really analyze your stuff and appreciate it. And when you pass, that's what happens, bro. I know it's gonna happen with all of us. It's like. It's just weird to think that humans operate in that manner, man.
Yeah.
But it's surreal, man, and it's crazy.
Yeah, it's
You know,
it's
you
definitely
really appreciate
the, like,
people when you get to look at them in that perspective.
and when their contribution is like finite, like oh shit, that's you realize like it's like the whole almost like procrastination type thing of like I'll get around to appreciating that, or it's all the next event, or I could watch it later, or
Right.
you know, the next
We gotta stop
album
thinking
or whatever,
that's the
and then boom, it's done now.
Yeah.
Like that isn't an option now. It's like oh shit, well let me actually get to this now. You know, it's crazy. Like yeah, like this year has been like even you know, R.I.P. Mac Miller, like he passed, right?
Crazy.
The thing is like I wasn't a big Mac Miller fan for the longest, right? I used to watch his like show on MTV back in the day,
Yeah.
and I'd hear shit where he's gassing, and I'm like, that's tight. But it was almost like a subconscious, almost like a version of like, because people had like compared me or something
Yeah, yeah.
at certain times, and it's
kinda
like
see
the
it,
Mac
man. Now that
name,
you know- yeah.
and so I'm like. I'm like, no, I'm
Yeah,
better, and just
yeah.
never really got into listening, right? Well, then like a few,
Good.
a couple months when I was out on tour with the homie Zoo, Zoo DeVille, he shoots videos and stuff. He's a younger cat, and he was like, "Yo, this new Mac Miller shit, whoop de whoop." It's crazy, and I'm like, all right, let's hear it. And he was just playing hella Mac on the road, and I was like, yo, and this a couple months before he passed, I was like, what the fuck? I've been sleeping, like this is
Yeah.
crazy. And then like his singles for the new album started coming out, and I
Programs,
was
fire.
like self care and shit, and I was like mind blown. I'm like, damn, this is hella musical, hella mature. And at the time, it was kind of like I don't know, there's like just been a period of just uninspiration for me. Not writer's block, I'm making songs, but I
Yeah.
feel like I'm making them from an uninspired place and almost like hella in my head, like like I you know, work with people and kind of have gained other tools in my creativity of like sounds and modern shit. But I'm like, you know, is there room for me to make the shit people know me for, my fans know me for,
Yeah.
the soulful sort of musical whatever. And hearing, you know, Max New Wave, I'm like, it was hella inspiring, like especially his last couple albums, but the new one specifically, because I'm like, this is what I could see doing, you know, and
Yeah.
it's like re-inspired me, and I started going hard and Come Back to Earth specifically. Like that's gonna be one of my next ones. Was like hella hit me. Like I was like, yo, I love this song. The night before it happened, I talk about it on Raising the Bar 11, but the night before he passed, he had posted a picture or whatever, and I commented on it like, yo, Back to Earth is like song of the year to me. Like it's amazing seeing the growth. Like I'm tuned in, like shit's
Yeah.
crazy, keep killing it, you know what I mean? And he's hit me up back in the day, like quoting bars like on
Yeah.
Twitter and
Yeah,
shit.
he's a fan of a
And,
lot of people.
yeah.
He showed a lot of love, man.
Yeah, and so like I did that, and then the next day that shit happened, and it kind of just
Crazy,
hit me
bro.
like a fucking train wreck, because I was like, oh shit, like, but
And
yeah,
everybody has that with people. Like I remember what, like, you know, Gully's favorite rapper, it was always Chinks Drugs, you know, and like people didn't even know who Chinks Drugs was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he like pushed for him. And I remember we were at Mass 2, and I remember when Chinks passed, and like the next thing, like he felt like the same way. It was almost like his good friend passed. You know what I mean? He was just so distraught. But it's like that's the influence we and people as artists that create content and create stuff like that you have on your fans. You know what I mean? Like you get these people through emotional periods of their life and stuff like that, and they have connections to you, man. And that's what artistry is about. You know what I mean? And that's why it's so cool to see, you know, Bender, everybody posting his artwork. You know, people getting tattoos and stuff. And it's
Yeah.
like the value that these people held in other people's lives. You know, it starts to show. It's crazy, man.
yeah, that's why I got it too. Like aside from like, you know, we'd kick it at events and shit. There's like a Vendetta, we kicked it all night, and there's been other like events and shit, hanging out, and we had a lot of deep conversations and shit. Like I remember Toronto and all this shit, and he was just inspiring to me in like all the different facets. But then also I hella identified in this way of like, you know, like our battle happened for a reason where a lot of people kind of put us in the similar category of like more cerebral, you know, and kind of like soul, like as well. Like there's a certain kind of genre or whatever that we fit in.
The day I booked that battle, man. I remember I was driving in my car. I remember being on the phone with you, and like, you know what I mean? And like when that one, like that was like the one I was so fucking pumped about for that event, because it was like, yo, you know what I mean? Because I knew right before that was like Bender was on his run, the Miracle, the 24/7, you know what I mean? And having someone like you, who I was like, I always try to put Bender against the best writers. You know what I mean? Because that's like the way, like back in the day, Miracle, great writer, fucking 24/7, great writer, and then you, so like that was always like the goal with him. And it's just crazy, bro. You know, I don't know, man. It's so fucking, it's surreal to think about, man.
No,
it really
man.
is, man. But
yeah, man. R.I.P. to a real legend, bro. Like, that's what I wanted.
That's what's good about it, though, bro. It literally time capsules people. You know, I've sat and watched so many PH videos, feel good videos, Young D videos, just because it's like cool to see, like, you know what I mean? It's, rest in peace, Caddy, too, man. Like, it's you know, all these impacts we have in people's lives. It's crazy, man. They're real friends of ours, and that's what battle fans, I think, sometimes when they're behind the screens and just hating on shit, they don't understand that this is really like community, you know, content together type shit, and they want everyone to like monopolize and work against each other, and it's like, we're not big enough to do that. We fight each other. We're still fighting the industry. You know what I mean? Like, we're trying to carve our path out here together, but if we start destroying in-house, it's gonna be bad, right? But
that's the whole thing. You've seen like a lot of battlers, or lately I've like you know, kind of drawn that line of like, you know, I'm not gonna allow fans to talk to me. It's like block, you know what I mean? And like, yeah, to each his own. But I think that the fact that it's battle rap, you know, and like we're on stage and getting paid or whatever to insult each other, that comes into the relationship with the fan, and not only that, almost their expectations of us outside of the ring with each other. You know what I mean? It's like this whole, like, you're gonna run up on a boxer and want to fight him or something. You know what I'm saying? Or like expect them to beef with each other when they're outside of the ring for whatever reasons.
It's tough, man. You know what I mean? Like, I try to, like, if you really pay attention to comments, man, it'll be the death of you. It really will be, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I see it happen to people. I see like people go through like time where they're going really good, and then they start to get criticized, and like fans are like, here's the thing, right? Fanship is weird because there's a lot of great fans out there, but then I think when it comes to forums, it's more about people trying to fit in so they don't form their own opinion. Because like, let's just picture you being a new person on a computer, like you're a nobody, you go into whatever, like a forum about battle rap, you start making your comments, no one's responding, you feel like you're almost like, why the fuck is no one take my comments seriously, right? So then what do you start to do? You almost like look at like who the popular people are, and then you're gonna just start agreeing with them, so then, you know, you're kind of in that group of people. So like, forums have ways of like swaying opinions about people and doing all these like things that they don't understand they have the power of, and that's like the weird thing about battle rap, is because like really fanship can destroy and break people. You know, you can see it happen if one super popular person on a forum board starts a hate train for a rapper that isn't all the way there yet, enough to you know, support their own, you know what I mean, that kind of needs the forum support. Like, they can break someone before they make it. Meanwhile, we've seen people break after the 6 year of battling, and all of a sudden like, whoa, now this kid's incredible. We've probably broken more battlers before they became great. You know what I mean? Like,
it's like Yelp reviewers, bro.
It's fucking
like, there was some podcast, I want to say it's like Rogan's podcast or so, when he's talking recently, but there was a side comment where he's like, I think it was, if not, whatever, doesn't matter. The point is, they were talking about a Yelp reviewer for some restaurant. They're like, this restaurant was bomb, and you know, I was gonna go to the restaurant. I looked on the reviews, and that's another thing. That's like going to the forum. Like, what should we want? What are the tastemakers saying? You know, and there's like one star review. Everyone else is 5, and of course it was hella long. He's like, but then I clicked their profile, and everything was 1-star reviews. You know what I mean? Like the massage parlor, 1 star. You know, Sears, 1 star. Whatever.
Those people that get emotional when shit don't go right, so they try to fight back. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
and those fans are like,
you a Yelp reviewer? You ever used Yelp to review?
I have
before?
like for one I've done it once, and it was
negative or
no, it's
positive?
positive, and it was also because it was the Hollywood Disc. Shout out my man Harut. Harut got that 24-hour turnaround for CDs, but he was like, "Yo, if you do a Yelp review, I'll give you like 20% off."
Yeah.
So I was like, "Done."
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, but that's like the only review I've actually
Bishop
done.
had me. There was a while where Bishop was like Yelp reviewing everything, bro, and he's, you know him, he's just a character. You know what I mean? Like he'll go out there and just like give you like the best review ever, and it's like so fucking elaborate. Like over, but then the people will hit him up and be like, "Hey man, like thanks for the review. Like next time you're in, like dinner's on me."
That's
you know what I mean?
Has
Or
he ever
something.
done a review for like a mirror manufacturer?
I don't know,
Or-
man. It'd probably be a negative one.
Alright.
You know, but that's it's funny, man. The Yelp review world, bro, and the
Yeah,
review world.
that's
in
but
general,
that's like
bro,
the battle fan,
and
you know,
you need
analogy.
to, that's what I was getting to. Like, you need to be able to understand that most people don't jump on their phone like, "Oh, I really enjoyed that. Let me waste the next 5 minutes to tell
Talking
them
about
about how great you are."
Yeah.
People only do that when they feel like they need to get revenge. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So like that's what happens. Like, "Oh, you wasted my fucking time. This guy fucking sucks. Fuck you. The worst ever. Fucking." You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And like they're so overly like negative. It's like, bro, like they're just rapping. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
It's like
you have the
YouTube
ability to like
comments.
click the X on the screen and get out of there before you even dislike it this
Right.
much. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
It's like YouTube comments,
at the
like-
same time, bro, it's really like a gift and a curse, man, because you have to appreciate that people are that passionate about what you're putting out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you need to remind yourself that, and then when you get down about it, and like all these people are saying it sucks, you need to be able to tell yourself like, these people at least fucking care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like maybe it's the reality check you don't want.
Yeah.
But if that many people are saying it, that it's a reality check you need. We're all a victim of it. You know what I mean? We've all had our ups and downs,
Yeah.
and you need to be able to get back up. You
Yeah.
know, that's the name of the fucking game. You see people, you got to persevere to win, man. So
Well, I agree 100%. Like one thing I always, if you're watching, you might have heard me say this before, but like I sound like a broken record. One of my favorite quotes, Khalil Gibran, he says like, "The best of men is he who blushes when you praise him and remains silent when you defame him." And that's something I always try to use as a personal mantra. Like, yo, take the salt with the sweet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to let a positive comment go to my head and make me like, oh, like I am the best in the
Yeah.
world and the mainstream is weak as fuck. You know, I'm not going to like I'm going to take that as serious as someone who says you're the worst in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know there's intent and what they mean, but I'm not going to take it for its polar, effect. And, and with it, both of them with a grain of salt. And like, I won't lie, the most comments I read is usually in preparation for a battle, watching my old battles.
Yeah.
And the reason why
That's
is
interesting.
despite like people, like they're, it's this negative shit or whatever. The reason is because yes, while the scream of the few doesn't necessarily echo the opinion of many, or however that saying goes. If someone's saying it, there's a lot of other people thinking it.
Yeah.
You know what I
100%.
mean? So there's
Yeah.
there's some validity there. And so rather than write someone who has a negative opinion off, even if it's disrespectful, I try, at least, I'm not perfect at it, to take the bit of validity out of it. And say, you know what, even though they could have phrased it different, more constructively, that's, probably a valid opinion. And there's probably a lot of other people who think that, who aren't saying it. So what can I do to take that constructively, implement it into tightening, to not delivering my punch this way,
Yeah.
or to having more voice or breath control.
It's
and
good
you know
that
what
you're
I mean?
able to do that, bro, because a lot of people are so egotistical they can't take that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
You can scroll past 100 positive comments
Yeah.
and see that one, and you're in the argument
I
with
used
that.
to be that person, bro.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny? I realized I am the biggest fucking hypocrite, because I'm like, man, I could never go comment on shit I don't like negatively. But then when it comes to boxing, I'm like, oh, this guy's fucking. Meanwhile, that guy
You've been
would
fighting bums.
That guy would fucking my life up in a minute, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm sitting out
yeah.
here like, why is this guy fighting fucking bomb? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like. But that's fanship, bro. Like, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'd probably see that person. I'm just emotional at the time, so I'm writing this because I probably looked forward to you winning and you didn't. So it's like, fuck you right now,
Right.
you know? And I need to remind myself that that's how our content's no different, man. Like, you know, and everybody is. And, like, even though people are hating, like, they're still tuning in. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? They're still come here. Like, I don't...
It's
You
that
know?
buffer zone too.
You
like
come to my
of-
store and you buy ice cream and you come back and you say, oh, this one's shit, but you come back to the store again, like, the ice cream store owner's like,
All right,
you're
well.
back. Like, it wasn't that bad. Like, you
Yeah.
know, but that's not a good mentality to have.
yeah, right. At least you're back. Get some more shitty
But-
ice cream. No, 100%.
But you know what you get the point I'm making, bro.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You
At least
really
they
can't.
care,
Yeah,
yeah.
man. You can't focus on like the actual message they're trying to convey. You gotta focus on the intent behind it, man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, most of them want to have good stuff to watch. You know what I mean? Like, people aren't gonna watch the best thing ever, like, oh, and just continue to hate on it. It's just it'll become redundant in their life. There's people that are miserable and will do it, but
There's like
you know.
competitive that another thing with like social media and just kind of that where everyone has a can be heard. There's more of a want to be heard, and in doing that, if you're just kind of like, hey man, that was pretty good. Like, you rarely see comments like that
But
on
that-
shit. Like,
right,
that's pretty.
but yo, but
It's
you know
either
what?
that's the best or the worst.
They don't understand that that's the comment that's going to change something, bro. And I always tell people, it's like, yo, you're at work and your boss walks up to you and he's like, what have you done all day? Fucking nothing. I don't even know why I'm paying you, and walks away. You're not going to be like, well, fuck, I better work harder. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to be like,
Yeah,
fuck this guy. He better do this shit.
Yeah.
But if your boss walks by and you're like, yo, you're killing it today, bro. Like, you're the man. Make me look good out here. You know what I mean? You're going to be like, hell yeah, I'm making you look good, motherfucker. Like, you
Yeah,
know
I
what I
feel
mean? Like,
appreciated,
it's like
yeah.
that motivation. I think that's where, like, a lot of people get lost with battle rap. They want people to do better, so they criticize them, but it's like, that's not really the answer. You're going to push them away. This is a hobby. No one's being forced to be here. So when you project that negativity, you got to take that risk that you may be flirting on that 50-50 scale. You don't know that person's emotion when they read that. They can be in a great mood and make, oh, this person says I suck, but you know, he's right. Maybe I need to get better. That person's best friend could have just died, and they may open their phone and be like, you suck. And it's like, well, why do I do this shit? Like, you
Yeah,
know,
it's a thankless
like,
job.
you know what I'm saying? And like, that's the things I think people need to understand. And that's what but at the end of the day, it's still fanship, you know?
Yeah, exactly. We're all fans first at the end of the day. You know what I mean? But yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
These are
But-
overdue.
Yeah, it's appropriate, man. There was thank you, man. There's someone said earlier that reminded me of a story that I wanted to. So what was it Gully and Gannick 2?
Oh yeah.
Gully and Gannick 2, like, you know how at the after events fools be kicking it at
Yeah.
whoever's hotel room. This fool Clayton was telling me like it happened to be Clayton and Avo's room after Gully and Gannick 2, and they like left. Everyone's kicking it, and they left fucking to get whatever pizza or something,
Yeah.
and they came back and all the mirrors were taken down like off the wall in the hotel.
Really? That's hilarious, man.
So, the question behind that is, do you know what Bishop's slogan means?
Yeah, no, I have no idea. So he explains it in one video online. I don't know what video it is, but he's wearing a red shirt. I don't know. Fucking, I can't give the YouTube link.
Yeah,
YouTube/HQ.
We
Either
got
way,
people for
find
that.
it.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
look. He's wearing a red shirt in the interview.
And he breaks it down.
Yeah, man.
It's probably like
I can't even remember,
Tupac's
bro.
Thug Life tattoo, where it's just like a different meaning every
It
interview.
has something to do with he like said it as a joke like one event and it just like stuck.
Oh, third party in the interview now.
yeah.
eh? Okay.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
already
no,
mentioned
he's
What's up, Clayton?
yeah.
Take a seat.
He's the man behind the magic here.
No, I'm just breaking your
No, that's hilarious. Like,
No,
it's
one of
probably
those-
it is probably that, just a different
Bro,
thing
it's
every
it's one of
time.
those things where it's like, you know, I have no idea what it means. I don't really give a shit, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. Because
What does anything
it's just,
mean?
yo, look, man, when you're doing like an intro to a battle, it's almost like you gotta, I tell people this, you're preparing the crowd for what's about to happen. So if you can do some stuff where, like, you know, say something and announce your voice get louder and end with the crowd making noise, it's like, this is good.
You're priming the pump for
you know what I
it.
mean?
Yeah, yeah,
if it's
yeah.
a dead crowd and someone's like, yo, So I say your mother. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be mad awkward. The crowd's going to be slow to get into it. Like, it's your job to do this. And I know people hate watching multiple hosts, but, like, there's a method behind it, man. Like, you know what I mean? And, like, I feel like Bishop's like, take your man out now. And, like, people that are hating, oh, fuck this guy. I just want him done. It's like, just get the battle started. That's good. They want to watch the fucking battle. But if not, even if they scream now, it's like, you're still into it. So whatever.
I'm not mad at it. I was just curious.
It's
like,
funny to me that people care so much about it. But it's one of those things where it makes no sense, where I guess if I was on the outside looking in and watching like a boxing ring announcer every day, like, and let's you know, just like whatever, like, put the pineapple on the couch and let's go, like, you know, I'd be like, what the fuck does he mean by the pineapple on the fucking couch, bro? Like, what the fuck, like, you know, you get that,
it's
right?
Like the Will Ferrell shit from the Jay-Z, like, nobody knows what it means,
right?
It's provocative.
No,
it gets the people
does
going.
Explain it, man. He does explain it. So.
Okay, boom. But, that would just be way more interesting if there's like multiple and it's a different meaning every time.
Yeah.
I always kind of took it like, don't take yourself that serious.
Yeah,
like,
you know Bishop's
like,
the biggest troll in the fucking world, bro.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing you can say to Bishop that's gonna ruin his day. You like, you know, you try to piss him off, he's gonna like, you know, find a way to like reverse it on you. And
me and Bishop
along.
kick it when we're out there.
Bro, you know how many funny videos I have of you guys on my phone? I was going through my phone the other day trying to make room. Because I had to fucking download the body shit to post on Instagram, and it's like, your phone's too full. So I'm like going through videos. I got y'all playing fucking $50 games of Heads or Tails.
Just on one flip, throwing a 50 down.
Heads or Tails, $50.
Yeah,
Tails.
yeah.
Boom, like just dumb shit like that. I got you guys playing pick a number between 1 and 10.
Like just going up to random people.
No, that was that was me in the room. I'm like, I guess I'm the guy. I'm gonna pick a number and I like write it on my phone and let you guys guess whoever's closer. Boom, you know.
I remember we did one for like either 100 or 200
Bro,
in your room
guys
at one time.
are like the Griswolds.
I walked them to the ATM.
The Las Vegas, Griswold's Las Vegas vacation. You know what I mean? Where they have just these like, what can we bet on? All right, let's find out what fucking Charles' favorite color is. I'm gonna say green. You say blue. Fuck it. All right, let's go.
Right,
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's
you guys are hilarious.
The
together,
prop
man.
betting for sure. I love gambling. Like I was talking with the source about that. Like watching football games and like betting on each play. If it's gonna be like throwing $1 down, incomplete. You incomplete. Boom, throw $1 down. And but I love gambling and yeah, me and Bishop randomly talked about that, and then not every time we're in the same vicinity. I remember when we're at the hotel restaurant late night, like either before or after like a day one, we were betting on because there was like different orders of chicken wings or whatever, and so we're like, see that person over there, like how many individual bones you think there's gonna be. But even if you think there's a 6-piece, it's like we're talking about like the individual bone,
wings,
and I'm like, all right, you choose from like 10 to 20. And we were like betting like $20 a pop, going up to, or on the dollar, like odd or even, and like the serial number.
Yeah,
on the
I know
dollar.
you guys were doing that too, and then you guys were doing the bank card. I think
like pull out your debit card, odd or even.
Yeah, odd or even with the last number. You know what I mean? And just like
it'd be like 20,
it's like,
$50.
yo, you guys are, that's what I realized, man. Yo, these guys have like real fucking problems. I'm trying to sleep, and they're playing heads and tails over there on a light in the fucking corner of the room, fucking chucking bills on the floor. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
True. I remember he had the Oreo 4s before they came out.
Yeah. And, bro,
I got him for like a bill or two or whatever. Yeah, and I was like, run it back for them shoes. Dude, what size you wear?
I have that video, bro.
He's like, no, I'll walk you to the ATM right now. I'm not gonna gamble my 4s. Yeah, you're gonna have to send me that video, man.
I got funny videos. I got this one.
You sent it to me. I hadn't had it in forever. It's just a like 1 second video of me
him
like
going
flinching.
Like that. So anytime I ask him a question, I just send that fucking video after. Like, yo, what are you saying today?
yeah, I send that to people randomly.
Yo,
like,
that makes me laugh too, because no one in America understands what when I talk to anybody from America, like in Canada, what are you saying? It just means like, what are you up to? What are you doing? But in America, like now everybody just gets it. But like it used to drive me crazy because people are like, yo, what up? I'm like, nah, what are you saying? Like, I say nothing.
Right? Yeah.
There's like language
it's
barrier.
Like, all right,
I
said, what are you saying? But you started the conversation with nah mean. So it's like a stalemate.
Oh,
nah mean, I don't know what you're saying. What am I saying? It's like who? It's like Abbott and Costello.
Now, are you good? Like, we're gonna go back to Barty because I thought you and Sasoris did well. Have you ever thought about like doing skits and stuff like that? Because I know, like, I just watched, like, you know, even with you and Bishop, when you guys like kick it together. Bishop is such a good fucking actor, man. And if you ever seen him, like, people may not know from like film stuff, but he's one of those people you can just be like, yo, go do this, and like he's gonna go do that and crush it. Bro.
I've seen him like on like things
shit,
like for boxing shows, like doing the like in the gym doing the like yo tune in to you know, bro, it's fire.
We just tell him to like even off camera, funny shit, bro. He's just a funny person. Like we had him walk in a convenience store and just so much fucking change in my car. I'm like, I need to get rid of this shit. I'm like, yo, just walk in that store and just drop like all on the counter and just like sit there and just stare at the guy. I'm like, no matter what he says, don't answer, don't reply, don't do nothing, just fucking look at him. Bro, the store owner got so nervous that like he was about to get like, I thought he thought like we were trying to set him up or something because we were all in the store too. So like Bishop just goes up and like drops some money. He's just sitting there and he's like, you know, not like looking
doesn't even say let me get something.
No, he just drops like fucking like $12 in change, like a nickels, quarters, dimes, and just sits there like this. And the guy's like, what do you want? And he's like. You know, and the guy's like, he's looking at us. He's like, "What's up with them?" Like, you know what I mean, bro? He's so funny for shit like that, and that's like, I feel like you would be good at that stuff too, man. Like just the extra
trolling
pieces,
type
man.
shit.
Cause you guys do it already, man. I watch you guys when you're at events, fucking gambling. You try to fucking connive me into doing it all the time too. I'm not gonna air Bishop out, man, but he got a couple like little slick fucking worded bets that I see him catch people on all the time, man, and it's just like, oh,
like little unwinnable bets that he tricks people in.
Yeah, bro, and it's just the talking, man. It's fucking crazy. I don't know. I'm not like that.
Oh yeah.
He's like, yeah, I bet I can knock down this tree with one hand. Don't believe me? Boom, crush it.
Yeah, no, I know when you have Bishop call me to like confirm a battle to watch my pockets.
Everybody.
I'm like, oh, like he's got Bishop calling me. Like, let me.
It's not. That's not even it, bro. Bishop just helps me out with like, you know what I mean, a lot on that side of things, bro. Because it's overwhelming for me on that end of like, you know, have these conversations.
So many people.
You know what? You know why I was doing that, man? Is because I feel like when I negotiate with people. Certain people like me and you will always have like a friendship, you know what I mean? But then there's a lot of people that don't know where to draw the barrier between like, okay, cool, we didn't get what you wanted and I can't give that to you, you know, at this time, so let's just not do it. And then there's like emotion. So like I always felt like when I negotiate and there's those issues that people will be like, if they're gonna be mad at me, then they're mad at King of the Dot. Where if like Bishop does it and you're mad at Bishop, you're just mad at Bishop. There's still an organization behind it. We're like, I'm the face of it, so people kind of like,
that makes sense.
Put us together. So like that was, you know, kind of that. But you know, I don't know, man. I think Bishop, he's good at what he does.
No,
you know, you can't take that away from him. He's a smart person. He's good at what he does, man.
Yeah, I definitely end up kicking with him tough at most events.
I mean, I don't know who's up on you two now, man. I feel like you guys have both got each other a couple times.
I feel like I'm up. I think
you guys should start like paying attention to that. Like have your little like
under period and gamble on that. On who's gonna win more for the weekend?
Yeah, I'll bet your record will be under 500.
yeah, I'll be up. Cover the spread on that one.
Funny, man.
What do you have any? This is actually Clayton wanted. The man behind the scenes wanted to know this, and it's kind of been a running theme throughout like all the episodes, but like any conspiracies or things that people like that you subscribe to, or like just beliefs that most people like, that's crazy, you know what I mean? Like, you know,
I'm actually like,
you're a flat earther, right?
No, I'm really against conspiracy theories, man. I think it's like a fucking subject of social media. You know what I mean? No one questions really if Timothy McVeigh blew up the Oklahoma Federal State Building because the internet wasn't around for us to fucking debate it or not. We're all content with the fact that we think he did it and we're cool with it. Everything that's happened since then is like, what if, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it's just gotten to the point where like you watch videos, Vice put out a documentary where they showed like, you know, the Sandy Hook shooting. So one of the guys whose daughter died in it is like harassed daily by these people that really believe Sandy Hook never happened, and they show up at this guy's front door every time he leaves his house to call him like a liar. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, like this guy lost his daughter, and like they're harassing him every day because they really believe this didn't happen, and like their mind check. But to each, you know, that may also be within my ignorance because I don't care to look into it that much because I know it'll
Yeah.
You know, like I got my own shit, man.
You can do every.
My life's a fucking conspiracy theory, man. Like, you know what I mean? Am I gonna make it or am I gonna fucking not? I don't know, bro.
Yeah.
But
no, 100%.
like it's tough, bro. Like my good friend Rev, bro, he's really big into this stuff, and he always will be like telling me stuff, and it's like, listen, bro, you get me going onto that stuff, man, you're gonna like fuck my whole day up, man. You know what I mean? I'm gonna need to spend 6 hours on Google to prove you wrong or right.
To make
like,
exactly, to show the moon is real.
Yeah, I don't got that.
The moon does exist.
Yeah, yo, you
It's
know what?
aliens.
I do have one, man. My one is I really don't believe Osama bin Laden was killed by the United States, because there's no way you spend fucking, what was it, $13 trillion looking for someone, or $13 billion or something looking for someone, and you catch him, you don't even take a picture or video of the motherfucker. You say, oh, sorry, we threw him overboard because of his religious beliefs. Like, you didn't care about your religious beliefs when he threw 2 fucking planes into a tower, man. Like,
yeah.
For me, that was my only thing. Like, that's just weird, you know? But
right, yeah.
I mean, who am I to fucking jump on Twitter, and I don't care nothing about that. You
exactly.
know? Like,
I don't know
just
enough
with
to like
content. Cool.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care about the parameters behind it or anything. But I just thought that was really weird. You know what I mean? If it's true, salute to them for respecting people's religious beliefs and whatnot. But I felt like, given the scenario, like,
it could easily be a thing where another, say a different country or whatever killed him, and it's like, we already put too much into this.
What year did Saddam
this.
die?
You know what I'm
year
saying?
Did
like,
Saddam Hussein died. Like, that was like
2004 or something.
Bro, they live streamed that shit. 2004, they
Right.
fucking like what, 12
it was like a
pixel
pay-per-view.
fucking- just 4 blocks on your TV of
yeah, right. Yeah.
But like no, they live streamed that shit, or they tried to. So it's like, for me, it was just weird. That's my only conspiracy theory, man. I don't really try to follow into the trend. Again, I just feel like it's I don't know.
Yeah.
You know,
for sure. So
you're
a tin hatter.
No, bro. When we were in Sweden, I remember one day. I'll never forget this about you, bro, because I said something. You're like, yo. I remember. I'm like, man, you think?
What year was this?
First off, it was when we went out to
2000, and I remember that, but I don't remember what year. Like,
I just remember.
13, 12?
Remember being like, man. I'm like, bro, you talk so much smart shit. Like, you think you know everything about everything. Like, tell me something about it. And I remember having like a bottle of whiskey. I'm like, tell me something about fucking whiskey then. And he's like, well, the funny thing about whiskey is, and he had this like crazy elaborate story. I'm like, yo, this bullshitter ass motherfucker, man. And I pull it up on my phone, and this guy like told the story word for word. I'm like,
yeah, I vaguely remember what you're talking about.
I'm never gonna question you again. Anytime you tell me about something, I'm just gonna believe you.
Yeah, that was definitely in the era of just like every day.
Because I was just breaking your balls about stuff. Like, this guy's over here conspiracy theorying the fucking room up. Like, we're all drunk, trying to have a good time.
I'm like, the moon? Yo, they're watching us from the moon. It's a satellite or some shit.
Watch me 12 pound this beer, man.
The moons are actually more habitable than the uninhabitable planet of like Jupiter. It's actually theorized that there might be life habitation on those planets because of the.
Yeah, I'll go in on stuff like that, man. I think like the world itself is the craziest thing, man.
Yeah.
That shit trips me out, man. I think like even what the universe is, all this is just like, that's something where, smoke a couple blunts and I'll go in for a couple hours on that stuff, man, because once that topic starts, it's a 6-hour fucking podcast.
Right? Yeah, no, exactly.
Where do you stop? You know what I mean? Like,
and then you try to look, so it's like confirmation bias, and like whatever your theory is, you look up, the keywords of that, and you can find something that's gonna back up your shit. How scientifically tangible it is a whole different ballpark, but at least enough information to like argue with people online about.
Let me ask you something, because you're a knowledgeable person, so I'm gonna assume that you're kind of into this stuff. What's your favorite documentary? What's a documentary that you would watch to your fans?
Let's see. My
Bodied.
favorite. He's a bodied. That's
not a documentary. Not yet. It can become like the after product. Can become a documentary about how it was made. But
shit. I don't know about my favorite, but just because it's kind of fresh in my head, because I watched it again not too long ago, is what's it called? The one about Jim Carrey playing for The Man on the Moon.
I watched that.
Netflix.
I watched that
it's
recently,
Andy and Jim
Andy
and Andy,
Kaufman.
or Andy and Jim
Kaufman
or whatever.
show. Yeah.
But that documentary about his
Incredible,
whole
bro.
process
Incredible,
is
right?
crazy.
I watched that. That's so weird, man, because I watched that probably like 2 months ago.
Yeah, it's probably like I watched it a couple of times. But there's a lot of really good quotables on that, just about like art and like wanting to like quote unquote make it in you know, kind of the psychological, you know, things that an artist goes through. And it's like you create a character kind of to survive or whatever, and then it's like you either have to become that character and be that character, or like and die as that character, or let that character die and move on. You know what I mean?
The video
like,
he made for after he died, like that's crazy too. You know what I mean? Being able to do something like that takes a lot of strength. I think, you know. Crazy, man. Yeah, I'm a documentary person. You know, like I like movies and stuff, but for me, like when I watch something, I like to try to be able to feel like I'm obtaining something from it. So,
what's a good one you've seen recently?
I always will recommend Dear Zachary, A Letter to My Father. It is by far the #1 best documentary ever made. It's got like 99% on Rotten Tomatoes, everything.
What is that about?
It's a crime story, and it's about it's about a murder. You know, but it's the way it's shot is, you know, so I'm gonna break it down, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna give any spoilers because I want you to watch it. Maybe, you know, it's gonna fuck your head up. But so it's about a murder, and you know, this guy's friend gets killed, and you know, growing up there, they'd film a lot, you know, homemade videos, yada yada yada. So when his friend dies, he has this like range of emotions. He decides to pick up his camera and go interview people about, you know, his friend, and get all the memories of his friend that he can get everyone to, you know, and he wants to do it quick. He's got this huge plan to go across. So he starts going and filming, and then they find out that the person who killed him is the wife, or not his wife, his girlfriend. And again, this isn't a spoiler. You find this out in the first like 2 minutes of the film. But the twist is that, like, you know, she becomes pregnant with his child. So then this guy filming is no longer filming just to get memories. He's filming to preserve the memory of his father for his son that this girl's pregnant with. But knowing that the mother's the murderer pregnant with his son, and the process and the twist, and like, bro, it's like...
And then it's like, damn, dude. Damn,
bro,
that's
you're
crazy.
going to want to
Layers
break your TV when you finish watching this shit, man. It's one of those things, like, I first found it because I think it was Sketch Minister Bishop challenged me to watch it, and like, yo, try not to cry when watching this. You know what I mean? Like, it'll break a grown man. And I was like, yo, I'll watch this shit. And,
I cry all the time watching shit.
I'm weird, man. Like, I can watch real serious shit and I'm like stone fucking cold. You know what I mean? And then I'll watch like a fucking pet rescue video and I'll be like, man, fucking hero. You know what I mean? Like,
then you eat a cheeseburger.
Yeah, bro.
From a murdered cow.
I know, bro. It's so weird, man. I have this like, but yeah, man. No, Dear Zachary, I like. Have you ever seen Searching for Sugar Man?
I have that on my list,
bro.
And like my stepdad told me to watch that recently.
You need to fucking watch that, bro. I recommend that if anybody is in the music game.
And it's about like an artist who is big and whatever. 30 years later, like someone goes searching for him because no one knows where he's at.
So basically, what it is, the brief synopsis of it is this guy records an album in like 1971. It sells like 6 copies, fucking nationally. You know what I mean? Dud. He disappears into thin air, goes on, lives his life. Somehow, in the fucking early 80s, one of these copies makes its way to South Africa. You know, South Africa is going through like a revolution, you know what I mean? Trying to like push. His music becomes like, because he speaks about sex, drugs, and all these things that are banned in South Africa, you're not allowed to have this in your music. You're not allowed. He becomes like the music for the revolution. Now what happens is in South Africa, he becomes bigger than Elvis Presley, right? But everybody in South Africa thinks he's dead. So, you know, 10 years.
Damn.
And it goes on for a long time, like you know, 7, 8 years. But then in the 90s, these guys that own like a music hall of fame are like, oh, you know, we got to find out the real story about how like Rodriguez died. You know, when they go out and they set out on a journey, they spend 5 years putting out ads, everything, searching for the story on how this guy died, and they give up. Nothing comes up, and then like they get a call like a month later after like the 5 years or whatever, and it's a girl, and she's like, hey, I seen this flyer, you're looking for Rodriguez, and they're like, you know, yeah, we want to just find out how he passed and what happened to him. And she's like, well, that's my father, and he's still alive. And like,
what? And they're like, wait,
bro, this
what?
guy. So in the 90s, think of it, bro. Like, think of being Drake, but you're just you. On the other side of the world, you're Drake.
Every day.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? When I sleep. But,
you know, that's what I'm doing right now as you're talking.
But that's what I mean. Like, he was literally Elvis Presley and had no idea, bro.
Damn.
And when you see the life he lives, he's like, you know, in Detroit, like a slave worker, you know, hard labor, just like demolition, carrying fridges downstairs on his back. You know what I mean? He's an old man in his 70s still working a job. Meanwhile, you were the biggest fucking star.
And don't even know it.
Don't even have a clue. 10 years ago, bro. 10 years ago. For 10 years, bro. You know what I mean? And to everyone in South Africa, like, the thought that this guy is really alive is like fucking okay. You know what I mean? Like it's like non-believable. So it's no different than
It's like a conspiracy theory.
well,
What do you mean?
they get a hold of him and then they go meet him and they're like, wow, it's really fucking you. You know what I mean? Like, and this guy's like, he's an odd individual. You know what I mean? But like, they're gonna bring him to South Africa for a concert, bro. And like the concert, the people there, they're fainting in the crowd because it's no different than like if you called your mom and said, hey, guess what?
Bon Jovi's coming.
No. Bon Jovi's still alive.
Oh yeah.
Elvis Presley never died.
Oh.
Elvis Presley's alive.
Right,
He's playing at the fucking
'cause
Staples Center tonight, and I got you tickets. So like, there's all these people are there. There's all these flyers, but they don't know if they're being conned.
Yeah, like,
you're skeptical on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And all of a sudden, this like withered old man walks out with like a guitar. You know what I mean? And he just like fucking plays the riff. And then all of a sudden, like the second he sings, it's just like you could
That's
tell it's
him.
like,
Oh
boom,
my God.
it's him, bro. Like you just see people like boom fainting in the crowd. Like
I gotta watch
it's-
this.
bro,
Like I
it's-
said, I added it to my list
as
probably
as,
a week or two
as
ago.
a musician, bro, like it is the most. It can never happen again. The company that sold the record, like, you know, they interview the people that own the record label that he was signed to because they're like, well, where did the monetization money, the residuals and all this had to
Yeah,
go somewhere?
where
And the
did
guy's
this
like,
go?
well, I never seen it, you know, because like they interview him basically saying like he would have known this was happening if you had fucking paid him the
him.
money, but you robbed him of
Yeah.
his livelihood. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But he's
his
such,
identity in a lot of ways.
you know what I mean? But
yeah.
bro, he's such like an honorable human that like, you know, he's like in his 70s and stuff, and he's like, look, man, like I never made music to become famous. I made music to change people and for people to listen to it. I've got everything I ever wanted.
Yeah, that must be
knowing that this
affirming.
happened, like
Yeah, exactly.
that's what he wanted from it. So now he gets paid big money to do stuff. I went and watched the guy in Toronto.
You seen him live?
Yeah, bro. When I found out that he
Sick.
was coming to Toronto, bro, the tickets were so expensive. They're like $150. I didn't give a fuck, bro.
He's making up
Not-
for lost time.
Yeah, bro, I don't care, bro. To
Yeah,
support
yeah.
something like that, it's like real music, bro. And if you ever hear, like, his music is better than Bob Dylan, bro. Maybe not better, but it's like very, very comparable. That's who it's related to. You know what I mean? And
yeah, like well written.
his
like,
name is Rodriguez, Sixto Rodriguez, and it's just unbelievable, bro. That it just can never ever happen again. The steps, the things that just like, how can you put out music and become that big and not even ever know because the internet didn't exist? You know what I mean?
Right, yeah, it's
the,
all
the
different era
royalties
now,
were
everyone's-
being sent to America, sent to the label, and then never distributed to the artist. You know what I mean? So
Because they're
it
like,
was-
this fool don't know. Like he's
and
he's
you know, like, and a lot of his music was bootlegged out there, but it's just, it's crazy, man. Like, it's fucking,
that's wild. I'm definitely gonna watch that. I've been
and he's such, yo, bro, he's such a unique character that you grow to, like, have, like, an emotional connection for him because he's just, like, a quiet, weird guy. And, like, when you they interview people that knew him when he was just, like, the Detroit artist and stuff, like, oh, Cisco, yeah, the guy that used to go on stage and turn his back to his crowd and play his guitar. He was, you know, kind of a weirdo, you know, like, would just go on stage. He never wanted to play music to anyone. He would just sit up there and, like, face the wall and put the mic against the wall with the crowd behind his back and play his music this way. You know what I mean? To the
Yeah,
wall.
yeah.
You know, just want to be like, and so, like, it's cool because, like, that's, like, at the beginning and you're finding this out about him, like, oh, what a weirdo. But then at the end when he's like, I didn't care to become famous. I just wanted people to hear my music. And it, like, all makes sense. It's like,
right of
this
why
is- you know
that
what I
it
mean?
wasn't
It's
being
like,
cocky. It
wow,
was
bro,
just-
like, this guy,
it's
like,
almost
really, like,
introverted.
and you just see,
artist.
like, you know, and they interview one of his coworkers, and you know, the guy, he's like, yeah, he's like, I'm taking off for a tour, and the guy's like, tour? You know what I mean? He's like, yeah, they found me, you know what I mean? And he's like telling, because his workers have no idea of this, so he's like, yo, I'm going on a tour over in Europe. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just so, bro, when you see, like, and then it couldn't have happened to a better person, bro. He takes all of his profits these days to go to his family and charity. He still lives the same life he used to live. He doesn't
Right.
want to be, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
he's on his way out, bro. It's sad to say. When I seen him, he was blind. He needed help out to the stage and everything, but he still sounded great.
That's
So
crazy.
it's like, it's fucking, to me, that story and that human and everything, like, they're more motivating to me than, like, most people, just in the sense of, like, that could never happen again, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
the fact that it happened like that to that person, that could happen to a lot of shitty people, bro. You know what I mean? And they'd be like, it would make that story garbage. You know?
Yeah,
They could have
yeah.
been on a search for this guy, and he could have been a grumpy old fuck that sued them for fucking profiting off his
Yeah,
name.
it's like,
And
ah,
you
fuck.
run a hall.
Could have been interesting,
You run
but
a
in a
music.
whole
You know what I
different
mean?
way,
You run a
not
music hall of fame,
inspiring.
and you're selling my likeness. Boom. You know what I mean? Because we
Yeah.
all know the way that shit works, especially
Yeah.
like, you know. It's crazy, bro. It's
Yeah.
just unbelievable. So that's one I recommend to you, man.
I'm
Like,
definitely
you've never
gonna
seen
peep.
that.
I'm definitely
But
gonna
Dear
peep that.
Zachary, Searching for Sugar Man,
Yeah.
great documentaries, bro.
Yeah.
100%. I got a laundry list, man. Anytime you need
Yeah,
something
you,
to watch,
you should
with
definitely
shit like
send
that,
me
bro,
something. I
fucking-
actually haven't watched besides like Jim and Andy. I've watched a couple, and I'm just hella blanking. But
You would like
that's
Chasing
one
Ice
of-
as well too, man.
Chasing
because-
Ice?
Yeah, so there's never been.
Oh yeah, about like the
Glaciers.
ice caps melting.
Yeah,
and shit.
because there's never been really documented
Right.
report. It's all been myth up until this one guy freelanced and went out and did it itself, and it's just like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know, and again, he just has this like one statement at the end of the documentary that's just like, bro, like I need to go out on that fucking glacier and help, like you know,
Right, yeah.
'Cause he's like, you know, one day my daughters are gonna be like, Dad, like you knew this was happening, like why didn't you do something? And he's just like, babe, I did everything I could. You know what I mean? And it's just like it's on the
Right.
rest of us.
Yeah.
You know, like, and it's
Yeah.
true, bro. It's we really abuse the world we're in, man. And like, you know, like you brought up like the eating beef shit. Like I do eat meat.
Yeah,
like,
that was
you
a
and,
joke. So I still eat like.
But like, as
seafood
like
and shit.
my
I'm
sister's
not,
a
like-
my sister's a vegetarian, has been her whole life, you know, and she's been very strict since like the age of like fucking 9, bro. You know, she was a young one.
Yeah.
And as I grow older, man, like I never had a pet or anything growing up. So when my grandma passed, I got this dog. You know, and I fucking inherited this like little fat sheep-like poodle, man. And now it's like my best friend. I talk to this thing every day. Like I'll be devastated when this thing goes. So I never had a connection to an animal before, and now it's put like makes me look at every animal differently. I watch like a video of a pig jumping out of a slaughterhouse truck and like making a run for it, and it's like.
This is like more
Oh,
light.
like,
well,
fuck, like,
I
how do I,
don't
like,
know
you
if it's
know?
like- you see, there's a video of crabs like starting to be boiled in a pan or pot or something,
Bro.
and this one crab like climbs out of the pot
Because-
and turns
Here-
the oven
listen,
off.
bro.
But literally,
I've seen
like,
that.
yeah, that's so fire.
You asked me if I would hear. This is my theory, bro. My theory is that every animal has a predator. The one that doesn't is humans, and the one thing that we have,
It's other humans.
over everybody, communication. That's what's holding all this back from us. The fact that we can communicate, learn, obtain knowledge, share knowledge, commit trade, do all these things. It's all based off one little box, and that's communication. We have no natural predators. So if we have no natural predator, but we've been given this gift of communication, it obviously means something. And it's probably meant to be that we're supposed to be using this gift to protect the rest of that triangle below us. But we don't. We use that to protect this top.
I
little
never
piece, which is
thought
us.
about it till now, just you saying that, but we do have a natural predator now. I think about it.
Well, disease.
Virus,
Yeah, disease,
bacteria.
But the bacteria is, it's not a natural predator in the sense of like, most humans die from old age. You know what I mean? Most deer don't die from old age. Most moose, most fucking rabbits, most turtles. Turtles are actually a bad example because those things live fucking
Yeah, most turtles haven't died yet.
But you know,
but they will.
But it's different because you know they have the best protection
Right.
of all predators. They surround themselves in a shell where nothing can get
Yeah.
them. Right. So
Communication though, like
It's such a strong asset,
different like orcas and also dolphins have different dialects
Yeah.
and senses of humor.
Crazy.
Like they can laugh, and also like a orca from it's either orca or dolphin or both. I might be butchering it, but from say fucking whatever. I don't even know if they exist. It's New Zealand as opposed like. Pacific rather than Atlantic,
Yeah.
like it's reasons they'll beef and be aggressive to each other. There's
Yeah.
language barriers. There's
100%.
differhave dialects.
You ever seen
They
the-
have
you ever
and they have
seen,
senses
you
of
ever seen
humor
Blackfish?
and will laugh and have jokes amongst each
You ever
other
seen-
and names.
you ever
They'll
seen-
name each
that's
other.
fucked up. You ever seen Blackfish?
Yes.
That's
I've at
fucking-
least
that's
seen
about-
most of it, but yeah.
That's cause sorry, I was kind of
No,
the
you're good.
orca whale shit. But that's what I mean, like the communication for them, and like it's just crazy when you think about how elaborate it all is, bro. Like they showed about like taking the mother's child from it and how she basically like commits suicide. Like you know what I mean? Like goes around like first off doesn't stop crying for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know doesn't come to surface. Scrapes the shit of herself against the cage, like showing it's just unbelievable, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing that's like really like started to change my outlook on stuff. It's like humans, like as we evolve, you know, we obtain knowledge, and I think like I truly really believe that. I think that we're supposed to be the protector of the rest, man, and we're kind of not being that, you know.
Yeah.
We're
Sab brought up a good point
we're
when
so
we were
selfish,
talking
bro.
about this. I agree, you know. But Sab brought up an interesting point I hadn't thought of, you know, and you know, it's something to look into. I'm sure like other people have talked about this, but it was just a different perspective, which is and I know we got to wrap up in a sec too, but essentially like what if, like, you know, what if we're playing our role? You know what I mean? Like bacteria decompose things, mold decomposes
Right,
things.
but, okay,
Maybe we're the destroyer of this planet and some part of some natural
100%.
progression.
See, I'm glad
And-
you said that because I was going
yeah.
to say we're no different than a locust to
Yeah,
insects.
yeah.
We're no different than a cockroach to you know what I mean?
And
humans are that form. We are the cancer.
But we have
for
the
mammals, bro.
morality of like saying, is this all right? So maybe that changes it in a certain way.
Right,
But
that came with
maybe that is,
evolution, bro. And I think that came with evolution of us, like, you know, like, you think, man, if this is the year 2000, how long, let's just put this in, how long do you think humans have been on Earth?
Man, I've seen so many different figures, but like, you know, what's the general consensus is like tens of thousands of years. I don't think it's
So
into
let's
the
just
hundreds.
say 20,000,
Right.
That means at least for 18,000, we're naked, afraid, scared. You know what I mean? What were humans before, like, trade, industrial revolution? You know what I mean?
Well, there was trade and agriculture
But-
before the agricultural
But
revolution.
what I meant to say is, like,
Yeah.
when that
Before
sun,
that,
when that
yeah.
sun went down, we became prey.
Right.
And when that sun was up, we were the predator.
Yeah.
Which is why you see, like, people used to look at the sun as a god. When you're up, you provide the life for us.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? And, like, it's
Forests
just
and
crazy
shit.
for me to think of, like, how
Egypt.
much humans have came and evolved in the last 400 years. If you go back to 1600 until now, bro,
Yeah.
it's fucking scary.
Yeah, when
And-
you look
and-
at mortality rate of just hospitals and shit, the single biggest innovation, I believe, is at least I've heard this. Not that I've done research, but someone way smarter than me was talking on something I watched or listened to. But basically, like the single biggest innovation was fucking washing your hands, soap and water, and that was only a couple hundred years ago when that became regular practice in hospitals. Like infant mortality rate, spread of disease, all these things. Just
Yeah.
a doctor washing their hands, because they'd be go from fucking bare hand working on a cadaver or like someone with
Right.
whatever wounds, and then just go straight to something else and spreading those diseases, not even knowing it. You know what I mean? So, but that simple, small
So
innovation.
this is where I think, like, now we've learned a lot, like, with humans. I think, like, in the next 100 years, we're gonna learn a lot about the connection with animals. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Because
yeah.
like we've almost peaked out on what we can learn about each other. We know, like, what are we really breaking down? Like the fucking 85% of the brain that we don't use now, or whatever
Well,
the percentage is. But like, it's a lot of folk,
Yeah, that's
like,
the final frontier. Supposedly, is like consciousness. You know what I mean? Like it really
we're gonna
exploring
open that shit up and become little fucking crazy psychos that bang our heads off walls for a living or something.
Oh,
Like, you know, we don't even
you
know
mean
what that
20 now? Like that people do that now for likes and views. You know what I'm saying?
and we all watch it and click like
Oh,
and support
yeah,
it, bro,
like,
you
yeah,
know?
exactly,
It's fucking
exactly,
crazy.
right?
But
But-
I really think, man, like, I don't know, bro. I feel like it's not just me. Like, most people I know, I feel like have become like sensitive towards like animal cruelty and even towards insects and stuff. Like, bro, like I used to fucking hate spiders so much that like I got a homie spider. You know what I mean? In my house, like, oh, there you are again. I ain't
Yeah.
seen you in 5 months. You got bigger, but
Right.
if I ain't
Same.
seen you in 5 months, just don't bother me. Kill
Yeah.
all the other bugs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I stopped killing spiders like years ago. I don't know when. Probably about 10, 11, 12 years ago. I think around 18,
Yeah.
19. I remember I was still
I'll
living
pick
with
them up and
pops.
put them outside
But-
now, and I confuse
Yeah, I do
myself
the
every time
same
I
shit,
do it. It's
yeah.
like, what are you doing? Like, what happened to you,
Yeah,
bro? Like,
same.
you used to be like, this sounds so bad, bro, but like when I was young, because like I never used to have pets or animals, like I didn't have any fucking emotion towards them either. So
Yeah.
like I never understood why people had pets when I was young. Like I got it, but I never got the emotional connection to them
Right, right.
until it was before I owned one. I picked up obviously when I hit my teens and stuff, but when I was real young, I don't know if I didn't just grasp the concept. I was just thinking these things are annoying. Like, the fuck ones have to like be home every night, walk this thing, like get this thing the
Yeah.
fuck out of my life.
Completely
like,
dependent on you. Fucking
it sounds like a
dick.
kid, like horrible. Fucking but like, man, my dog, bro, like it's
They have like emotional intelligence. It's
who else
crazy.
is that happy to
you know?
see me when I come home? My girlfriend
You
fucking
were-
bitch
you
at
didn't
me
even
about
look
something.
at
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll be like, you better look at me when I walk in the house. I'm like, stay looking at your phone. I'm like,
my
nah.
dog, my dog don't bark, whine, cry. It don't shed. It's got fur like a fucking sheep. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
So like
right.
it doesn't shed, and like it just.
And so if you're
It's just there.
allergic, you won't get to
Nah,
dog fur. You don't get
bro,
allergic
it's
to
a
that, right?
non-allergen. So
yeah.
it just sits beside me and breathes, bro. Like it is like a breathing statue. But
Mm-hmm.
I talk to it so much now because like when you know what I mean. Like what do you do when you're alone?
Mm-hmm.
And all the time just talking shit to it, and it's fucking it's become like such a big staple in my life, man. It's crazy. You know what I mean? Like
There-
I never, and not only that, bro. Like my grandma helped raise me. You know, it's the last thing my grandma fell in love with, so like I have that piece of it. You know what I mean? Where it's like
Yeah.
I felt, because when she first gave it to me, my grandma was just sick, right? And she gave me this dog just to like, yo, you need to get rid of this before me because I'm not gonna be able to take care of it while I go through this. And then like my grandma passed within a couple of days. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like, what I do with it? I tried to give it to Bishop. I tried to give it to one of my other friends, and then it was just like, I can't give this thing away. You know what I mean? Once I had spent like 2 weeks with it, it was just like, you know, it's just a little fat fucking poodle that like waddles around, you know, 10 pounds overweight. It's hilarious, bro.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's just so weird, bro. And I never had that connection. And now it makes me, like I said, got me looking at every other animal in that thing, man. And I never understood, like, people that are vegetarians and stuff.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't understand. Like, I understood.
Yeah,
but, like,
yeah,
I never
yeah.
had that emotion towards shit, man. Like,
Yeah.
I've always felt cold emotionally with certain things, man.
Yeah.
And that was one of them. But now I feel like that's switched, and I feel like I'm like overcompensating it for the years that I didn't, right? But I'm
Right.
not enough to stop eating meat.
Yeah, I mean, shit.
Take
It's
it,
every,
you know,
you
it's
know,
tough, bro.
It's everyone's journey.
But, like-
Like I said, I still eat seafood and shit, and
I'm
like
trying
it's
to
not, it's
slow down
whatever,
on
like-
pork, personally, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I feel like pigs are smart things, you know, and they're scavengers themselves. You know, they're no different than fucking humans, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, like, yeah, man. I don't know.
Yo, the animals are hella emotionally intelligent. Like I grew up as a dog person, you know. Like,
Yeah.
well, living in my dad's house, it was like a zoo. Like, he had a like big kind of rickety house, you know, where it was like mice, not
Yeah.
pets, but like mice
Nice,
on
yeah.
rats on another floor,
Yeah.
not pet,
So
the
like-
pet kind.
Yeah.
But then there's, you know, we had like 3 tanks of fish, and then like a cat or two, and then like but hella dogs at varying parts
Mm-hmm.
because he just could never turn down someone, you know, like how you inherited the dog. Like people
Yeah.
he works in an aluminum extrusion plant.
Oh,
People being
fuck.
like, I got to get rid of this dog. He's like, I'll take it. And like we
Yeah.
had set one time, not that this was all the time. We always had dogs, but at one dogs, you know. But
Yeah.
at one time we had like 6 dogs.
Bro.
Some of them had to be kept outside, inside, away from each other. They'd fight because they're grown, whatever. But always a dog person. It was like, I hate cats. Whoop de whoop.
Yeah.
And then I like broke up with my first ex long-term relationship, 7 years, blah blah blah. And she left the cat that I got her as a
Oh,
gift
yeah,
or
you
whatever.
became a cat
And
person.
like we were cool, but it was always like that. And she was real standoffish and like skittish and shit. Cause I got her, she's like 3, 4, and been
Yeah.
to different homes. And during this time when I was hella going through a bunch of emotional shit, like she wouldn't leave my side, sleep
Bro,
on
they
my
feed,
fucking like
that's-
chest,
that's
like
what I
it,
mean,
I
like,
felt the
they
pain.
know,
You know,
bro. They're
Yeah.
not dumb. Like animals, that's what I'm saying. Like I never knew until I had one that like they have this emotion. My dog knows when I'm like,
Yeah,
you know, when I'm
almost
going
more
through
so
shit.
than people, man.
Bro,
a lot of times,
and that's
like,
what I mean. It's
yeah.
like, yo, and you know what the craziest thing is, bro? It's like, this took me in a lot. Like, I posted a picture of it on Instagram, and it was a picture. It's a picture of a cartoon of a guy sitting. It's just from the back, looking out on the lake, and he's sitting on a log, and he's sitting there with his dog, and it shows like the thought bubbles, and in the human thought bubble, it's like house, like all money, job, yada yada yada, and then it's like the dog's thought bubble, and it's like the exact picture of that you're looking at, just without the human thought bubble, and it's like
Just
the
that
real,
per-
just
yeah,
that,
them
bro. You know
two
what I mean?
together,
Like,
yeah,
we
yeah.
stress about so many things that really don't fucking matter, bro. We know people that are broke that are happier than people that are millionaires, and
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, that person can lose all that money like this, and you're no different. You know what I mean? We stress about so many things that really don't matter. My dog don't give a fuck if I got 70,000 followers or 12. You know what I mean? My
Right,
dog
yeah,
don't
yeah,
give a
yeah.
fuck if people are slandering me on YouTube. My dog don't give a shit about none of that, bro.
Right.
And I appreciate it for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's like,
So-
you feed me, I'll fuck with you.
yeah, you know what I mean?
Let's
So,
go.
like, It's
your
one of
back.
those things, man. Like it's that appreciation, like, and they're unique animals in the sense that like they will be loyal and emotional to the first person that shows loyalty and emotion, bro. And if humans had that same trait, this world would be crazy. A dog don't care if you black, brown, glow in the dark, whatever. You know what I mean? As long as you were there with it. I said this to one of my friends. I'm like, man, you think of it, bro.
If you glow in the dark,
you think a dog is happier with someone who's homeless that it spends all day with out on the street, or with a good family that's rich but the people go to work for 12 hours a day and leave him by himself? What dog's happier in your mind?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a good thing to think
Yes,
about, bro.
as long as
because
I'm
it's like,
healthy, we're here all day.
The
We're in
dog
this
don't give a
together.
shit, bro. They're just happy to be with somebody, and like, you know, that's a life for them to like. It's weird to think about, man.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Humans are so fucking lost on like our train of what we think is success and what we think is like what our purpose is. But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, like this, what is eventually like trade, money, and all that. It's like it don't really mean anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? People chase money, and of course, like they're fun tickets. But at the end of the day, like your relationship with people is what people value. No one at the end is like, oh, I wish I had enough money to fucking fly to Australia and fucking go down this slide I couldn't afford. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's usually like,
Yeah.
oh, I wish I could tell this person I cared about them this much.
Right.
You know? And
You can't take it with you.
yeah,
right?
man. And again, reverting back to like the battle rap stuff, I think that's what it's all like taught me in the last couple of years. The people we lose, man, you just gotta appreciate everybody for what they are and where they're at. You know what I mean? So,
100%,
that being
man.
said, my man,
Yes,
I
that's a
appreciate
great
you.
note
I
to
got
end on.
I got a decade of history with you plus.
Yes.
I appreciate everything you've done for
Likewise,
myself,
man.
King of the Dot, and you know, ruin your day and the battle scene itself, my man.
Thank you, bro.
Proud,
I appreciate you, bro.
God,
Definitely.
you already know
Yeah,
what it is.
next time you're in town, we're gonna link up.
Grow sunflowers in total darkness. Got a dungeon, it's underground for tortured artists. All my demons get along. They tell me, trust your instincts, even when they're wrong. Treachery amongst friends. You could read it in your palm, cutting off your right hand like a thief in the Quran. Yeah.